Hello and welcome to Amazon FBA 101 Basic Course. So like its name suggests, this course is for beginners only and for those who are just starting out with selling on Amazon. With Fulfillment by Amazon, also known as FBA, you store your products in Amazon's fulfillment centers and they pick, pack, ship and provide customer service for these products. So it's fully automated method of selling, where you focus most of your efforts on marketing and sourcing side, while Amazon does all the dirty work. I cover some of the most essential topics that you must understand before sending your first product unit to Amazon FBA. So how selling on Amazon works, what is the buy box, how to list your products on Amazon, how to send it to Amazon FBA, and much more. Of course, I go more in-depth about certain selling strategies in my paid courses, but this course will give you a good introduction and foundation for selling on Amazon. So click the enroll button now, it's completely free, and talk to you inside. In this lecture, I want to introduce you to how selling on Amazon works and which selling strategies are the most common. Now, Amazon has very different way of listing and selling products. Each product has its own product listing page, but many sellers can sell under the same product listing page. So, for example, if we search for Xbox, you will see that instead of hundreds of identical Xbox product listing pages, we only have one for this specific Xbox version. Now, all sellers who are selling this identical Xbox product are listed here. Now, these sellers don't have full control over the product listing page, so they cannot change images, titles, product descriptions. The only thing they can do is offer the product and adjust the pricing. So whenever a customer comes to this Xbox product listing page, only one of these sellers will get the credit for the sale. Now Amazon's algorithm calculates which of these sellers will get the sale. This is called competing for the buy box. Now on other websites, such as for example eBay, for each product, even it's identical to the one that is already posted, you are able to create a new product listing page. But on Amazon, only new and unique product that has never been listed before is eligible for creating a new product listing page. So if you're selling brands from other companies, for example like Xbox, you are simply going to be listed as one of many sellers selling this exact same product. And you will be competing for getting credit for the next sale. On the other hand, if you're doing private labeling and you're the brand owner and you have your own UPC code for your product brand, you can create a new product listing. This way, you will be the only seller of your product. And every time someone buys your product, you will be the only seller who will get credit for the sale. Now, as for product shipping, you have probably noticed this sold by and fulfilled by Amazon part. This simply means that this specific product is sold by this Amazon seller, and the order is fulfilled by Amazon using their Amazon FBA program. So basically, this Amazon seller has sent this product to Amazon's warehouse. And once a sale occurs, Amazon is going to send this product from their FBA warehouse to the customer. On the other hand, some sellers use FBM, which stands for Fulfilled by Merchant. This simply means that product is sent directly from seller's warehouse. So when you notice on product listing page, ships and sold by some Amazon seller, it means that they are not using Amazon FBA program, and they are directly sending the product from their warehouse to the customer. Now, the advantages of using Amazon FBA program is that Prime member customers will be able to get your products faster and cheaper. And also, products fulfilled by Amazon tend to get higher conversion rates, which ultimately increases your keyword rankings on Amazon search results. And now finally, I want to cover some of the most popular selling strategies on Amazon, as well as the pros and cons for each selling strategy. So the first one is private labeling. This basically means that you will be developing your own product brand by doing contract manufacturing with factories, or manufacturing it by yourself. Or maybe you already have your own brand. Now this means that you will need to do everything a brand has to do. So to build a following, to create packaging, graphic identity, logos, collect feedback, have a website, social presence, build a list, etc., etc. Also, you will need to have a unique UPC code in order to create a new product listing on Amazon, so you can have full control over the product listing page, and to be able to change every element of a product listing page, such as images, titles, and descriptions. Now, the advantage of this selling strategy is that you will have full control over the product listing page, so you can change titles, descriptions, images, and other elements. Also, you will have higher profit margins, typically about 40% of the selling price. Also, another advantage is that this selling strategy can be applied from almost anywhere in the world. Also, by doing private labeling, you will build a long-term asset that can be later expanded even beyond Amazon, so to other marketplaces, to your own e-commerce website, or to offline retail stores. And finally, you're building a business that is sellable. Since you're building a brand following and an asset, you will have an opportunity to sell that business to other businesses. Now, the cons are that this is the most risky selling strategy, since you're building a brand from ground up without any prior followers or demand, unless you already have an established audience or engaged email list or, for example, a blog. Also, it requires more investment than other selling strategies, and often minimum order quantities from factories are over 500 or 1000 units. Also, time to get your first product up and running realistically takes about several months, which is much longer than with other selling strategies. Also, another negative side of private labeling is that you will be dealing with trademarking, insurance, and other legal issues. The next selling strategy is retail arbitrage. This means that you will be buying products from other brands and selling it on Amazon. Now, markets are inefficient, so you will buy at one place for a lower price and then sell it at other place, in our case on Amazon, for a higher price. The difference between those two prices is your profit. Of course, once you deduct Amazon fees. Now, the most common way of finding products to sell with this selling strategy is to either find a wholesaler that will give you access to products with good wholesale price, or to find products in offline retail stores, buy them, and send them to Amazon FBA. Basically, you will scan products in offline retail stores using special mobile app for scanning Amazon products, and if you find a product that is much cheaper in offline retail store than on Amazon, and if it has a good bestseller rank, you will buy it and send it to Amazon FBA. Now, the pros of this selling strategy are that you can start with just one product unit. So as soon as you find a cheap product and good price difference between Amazon and offline retail store. And also, since you will be selling products from other companies that already have an established sales history, you can see what is the current sales volume and trend based on bestseller rank history. So you can use online tools to predict sales. For example, Therapig.com and CamelCamelCamel.com. Now, the cons are that you will be competing with other sellers on the same product listing page. You also won't be building an asset, margins are lower than with private labeling, and in most cases, price is the most important factor of success, which means that winning happens on the buying side of this selling strategy. And also, unless you have access to reliable wholesaler with good wholesaling prices, you will always need to hunt for new deals and low prices in local offline retail stores. Now, the next selling strategy is bundling. It's very similar to private labeling since you will be creating a relatively unique product offer. Now, basically, with bundling, you will take several different products that are complementary and bundle them into one product offer with unique packaging and unique UPC code. Now, this will let you have unique product listing page where you will be the only seller. Now, bundles must consist of items that are highly complementary and provide actual value to the buyer. So you cannot just bundle random products. Now, the pros of this selling strategy are that you can be up and running relatively fast as soon as you find several complementary products to bundle. And also, you will be the only seller and you will have full control over the product listing page. Also, there are many low-hanging fruits with long-tail keywords where people naturally type keywords where they expect product to be bundled with main product already. Now, this gives you an opportunity to rank for those specific long-tail keywords and be the most relevant product listing page. Now, the cons are that you will have to accept returns as a bundle even if only one item was damaged in the whole packaging. And also, barriers to entry are relatively low, so anyone can quickly copy your exact bundle contents and start selling under your product listing page. Now, Amazon has very specific set of rules for bundling, so please read the policy carefully. I have included the link in the resource tab of this lecture. Okay, so next selling strategy is dropshipping. So dropshipping is a selling strategy that cannot be used with Amazon FBA program. It can be only used with FBM option, which means fulfilled by merchant. So dropshipping means that you don't hold any inventory, but when a sale occurs, you contact your supplier and tell them to ship the product directly to your customer. The price difference is your profit. Personally, even though dropshipping is a great selling strategy, I don't recommend it for selling on Amazon, since it's very risky because you never have full control over the inventory levels. Now, although the pros are that you don't have any inventory investments, the cons are also that you don't have full control over the inventory levels. And also, margins are very thin, and Amazon has very strict policy about dropshipping. So please see the link in the resource tab of this lecture to read the policy. And now finally, the last most common strategy for selling on Amazon is selling on behalf of others, and it's very similar to private labeling. But with this strategy, you'll be focusing on finding manufacturers who have their own brand but don't have any online presence. So your job is to partner with brand owner and offer your expertise of launching their private label brand on Amazon. Now, the pros are that you won't have any inventory investment, you can negotiate very competitive percentage of online sales, typically between 10 and 20%. You can leverage their already built base of customers. You can start immediately since the product has probably already been developed. And you won't have to deal with legal issues since your partner, the manufacturer and brand owner, will be in charge of that legal part of the business. Now, the cons are that you won't be building your own sellable asset. But if you make a good deal and strong partnership, you could potentially have lifetime percentage of that brand's online sales. Now, another downside is that I found that not so many foreign brand owners are willing to participate in this kind of partnership. So if you don't live in North America, this could potentially be a drawback. FBA stands for Fulfillment by Amazon, which basically means that Amazon is handling all the shipping, tracking, picking, packing, and storing of your products for a small fee. They will even provide your customers with phone and email support for the shipping and return information. Amazon has invested huge amount of money to develop a fully automated network of fulfillment centers all around the world. You just need to simply send your inventory to one of Amazon's fulfillment centers and start selling your products either on Amazon Marketplace or on your own website. Amazon has fulfillment centers in the United States, Canada, Germany, United Kingdom, Italy, France, Japan, India, and Spain. I highly suggest that you use FBA if you're selling your own physical products, as it will help you keep your costs low, as you will be avoiding fixed monthly expenses, and you will be able to free up your time and focus on marketing and your brand and sales growth. Now, there are two main types of fees for selling on Amazon, and both of them occur only when your product is sold. So, beside your professional seller subscription of $40 per month, the selling on Amazon fees can be divided on fulfillment and marketplace fees. Fulfillment fees are for storing, picking, packing, and handling your products in Amazon fulfillment centers. And these fees are fixed per unit and depend on your product size and weight. On the other hand, the marketplace fees are commission-based, and for most categories are 15% of your selling price. In the following lectures, I will show you a special calculator which you can use to calculate the exact fees for each product that you want to sell on Amazon. So now let's cover why is Amazon FBA program the best platform that you can use for launching your new brand. The first reason is because you can send just a handful of units to their warehouses. There are no minimum requirements. You can send as low as just one product unit to their warehouses, so the barriers to entry are much lower than in traditional retail stores. The second reason is because Amazon has over 50 million Prime members worldwide. The Prime membership gives your customers the ability to receive your products in just 2 days with free shipping. The third reason is by using Fulfillment by Amazon, you will get better keyword rankings on Amazon than those not using the FBA program, as you will have better conversion rates and free shipping offered to your customers. This is because people trust Amazon, and they trust when on your product detail page is stated that the product is fulfilled by Amazon. The next reason is because you won't have to do all the heavy lifting, and you won't have the fixed monthly costs involved when managing your own warehouses. As I said previously, Amazon will store, pick, pack, and send your products. They will even provide your customers with tracking information, provide customer support, and even manage returns. So you will be focusing on what matters the most to your business. You will be focusing on marketing, providing value, and improving your products. And now the fifth and the most important advantage of Amazon FBA program is great cash flow. You will be able to handle huge growth since Amazon will pay you every 14 days for all the sales that occurred during those 14 days. And like I said previously, fulfillment fees occur only when your product is sold, so your cash flow levels will be almost always positive. And finally, the sixth advantage is the power of authority that Amazon has. Even if you're competing with huge established worldwide brands, people trust Amazon and relevancy of their search results. Which means that even though you're a new brand, people will trust you because Amazon has ranked you among other huge brands. Especially when on your product detail page is stated that your product is fulfilled by Amazon. So, the biggest takeaway from this lecture is that the barriers to entry are much lower than before, and that it's hard to get in local offline retail stores because your brand is new, and nobody will take the risk of offering something that is not yet proven to sell. But if you dominate the Amazon search results for your most important keywords and prove that your product has a decent demand, you will have much more authority when thinking of expanding your brand to local offline retail stores. So take the advantage of this multi-billion company that is growing like a startup. That's it. Let me know if you have any questions in the discussion tab of this lecture. I want you to start your Amazon selling journey the right way. I want you to truly understand what you can and cannot do with your seller account. Because if your account gets suspended, it will be pretty hard to open a new one or to get it active again. The most important thing is to always follow the rules, because Amazon is well known for removing selling privileges from sellers no matter the volume they are making, without any prior warnings. Now, Amazon rules always change, so I have included the links to their most important policies in the resource tab of this lecture. Also, there are much more smaller policies and rules there, so I highly suggest that you take time and check out the policies. However, what I'm going to cover in this lecture are the 7 deadliest mistakes that new sellers make, so pay close attention and take notes. Remember, you are going to be using Amazon's brand, power, and reputation for launching your own product, brand, and business. So we all must follow their rules to avoid permanent suspension. Now, by all means, this part should not scare or distract you. It's just something that you need to be aware of, so you can avoid and minimize any future mistakes. Now, I assume that you already know that common sense things such as alcohol, drugs, weapons are strictly forbidden on Amazon, of course. Now, the first and most obvious rule is that you cannot have multiple seller accounts. Amazon doesn't want you to have multiple seller accounts because it can be used to trick the system. For example, to have multiple listings of the same product, or to game the review and feedback system by reviewing your own products. Of course, these activities are strictly forbidden. If they find out that you have 2 or more seller accounts, they will shut them down permanently, and the probability of getting them back unsuspended is really low. However, if you're an advanced seller with 2 or more different brands in unrelated niches, you can ask for an exception. But you will need to have Amazon's permission first before opening a second seller account. The reason for opening a second seller account can be to make sure that your competitors don't see which other products you sell, or to have more professional store with your branded products only. The second rule is that you cannot link to any external resources or websites. As I mentioned before, you are using Amazon to launch your product, which means that Amazon doesn't let you take their customers off Amazon website, since they earn commission from each sale. Also, in the communication with your customers, you cannot link to your site in any way, or you cannot use your email address to communicate with buyers. You can only use Amazon's encrypted messaging system to communicate with your customers. I'm going to cover how the Amazon messaging system works in the following lectures. Now, the third rule is to watch out from where you are accessing your seller account. Now, there are 2 secure ways that I suggest you use for accessing your seller account. The first one is to dedicate only one internet connection and one computer for accessing your seller account. The reason for doing this is because if Amazon spots that 2 different seller accounts have been logged in from same internet connection or same IP address, your account might get suspended. Also, Amazon can spot if you used one computer to access several seller accounts, which will also get you in trouble. The safest way to play is to dedicate only one computer or laptop and one internet connection for accessing your seller account. Also, avoid accessing your seller account using internet connections in hotels, internet cafes, or public Wi-Fi connections. Now, you might be wondering what happens if you, for example, go on a vacation. Now, that brings us to the second solution, and that is to subscribe for virtual private server, which you can use to access your seller account. Which basically means that you can use any computer and internet connection in the world to access that virtual private server. And then, using remote access, you can log into your seller account through that virtual private server. Now, the price is about $10 to $20 per month. This topic will be covered in the next section. Now, the next rule is to respond to customer questions as quickly and as politely as possible. Amazon's mission, stated on their website, is to be the most customer-centric company in the world, which they also expect from you. Every response that you make to your customers is tracked through their messaging system. So I suggest that you try to answer every question that you receive from your customers in less than 24 hours. Now, I personally aim for answering questions on average in under 4 hours. And also, I use my smartphone to answer the messages. As you'll learn later about Amazon messaging system, you can respond to your customers from any device without logging to your Seller Central account by using the encrypted customer email address. The fifth rule is that you cannot try to game the review or feedback system, or that you cannot incentivize for reviews. I have included the link to Amazon review guidelines in the resource tab of this lecture. Also, to learn more about reviews, scroll down to the social proof section of this course. In the social proof section, I show you exactly what is forbidden in terms of reviews, and also I show you the proven ways of getting legitimate reviews on autopilot. Now, the next rule is to not do the dropshipping. Now, if you're not familiar with what dropshipping is, it's basically selling products without having inventory. So that means that when a sale occurs, you tell your supplier to ship the product directly to your customer. Now, this is a recipe for failure and account suspension. Dropshipping is not a business model that I advise for Amazon, nor do I teach. Maybe on other marketplaces, dropshipping works, but on Amazon, it doesn't. The reason for this is because you don't have control over the inventory levels, you're not adding any value, the returns are a bit complicated, and also some part of the dropshipping process is against Amazon rules. For example, Amazon requires that on shipping label and invoice, only your name can be shown, not suppliers, which is a bit hard to manage. So I have included the link to Amazon dropshipping guidelines in the resource tab of this lecture, so you can explore this topic in more details. And finally, the last big rule is to stop doing something if Amazon tells you to stop, or if they send you a seller warning notification. Sometimes, but not in all cases, Amazon will warn you if you have done a suspicious activity on your account. Always follow what they say. It would be also great if you could immediately, as soon as you receive a warning notification, hop on to phone call with Amazon to solve the issue. Okay, so that's it for now. Please let me know if you have any questions in the discussion tab of this lecture. This lecture is only for people whose Amazon seller account got suspended in the past. Now, as you all know, Amazon strictly forbids you to create multiple seller accounts, unless they gave you a special permission. Now, this also means that you cannot create a new seller account after your previous one got suspended. It is extremely important to follow the Amazon rules which are covered in this course in order to avoid getting your account suspended. Also, please follow some common sense rules and don't intentionally try to game the system. Because you never know when Amazon will start updating their policies and start suspending sellers who used previously acceptable tricks to game the system and rank their products higher. Now, if you want to create a new seller account with Amazon, it is important that you erase all traces which could lead to your previous account. Which means that for a new seller account, you will have to use, of course, new name. So it means that the new seller account cannot be registered to you again. If you're an individual seller, then you need to find a person, probably some relative, that you trust to register Amazon account for you. If you're selling as a company, then you can simply register a new company and then use it for a new seller account. You will also need a new bank account, new email address and mailing address, new credit card, and also a new computer that has never accessed any Amazon seller account previously. Also, you will need to use different IP address and different internet connection, which means you cannot log into your new Amazon seller account from internet connections that were used for accessing your previous suspended account. The best solution for this is to either subscribe for USB internet stick from your local telecom provider,
or to subscribe for virtual private server and then access your new seller account through that server using remote desktop access. I will show you how to set up a virtual private server for accessing your seller account in the following lectures. Basically, you will have to start from scratch, and it's important to burn down all the bridges that link to your previous suspended account. Also, if you have, for example, different accounts for Amazon Associates, for shopping on Amazon, and for selling on Amazon, then this new seller account should never be used on the same internet connection and on the same computer from which you're accessing Amazon Associates account and your personal shopping account, because this could also raise some red flags and link you with the previously suspended account. And also, one more thing. Please don't sell the same products you were selling on your suspended account, unless you're a big brand. But there is a good chance that you aren't. And if you've done private labeling previously, you probably had only a few products. So finally, when you create and set up your new seller account following everything that I stated previously, please don't repeat the same mistakes that led to account suspension on your previous seller account. So follow the rules that Amazon has outlined and you will be fine. Also, Amazon has so many great resources on their help page and YouTube channel that will help you avoid making mistakes. Just dedicate some time to read and go through their help section and most important policies. You can find the links to their most important policies in the additional resource section of this course. So that's it for now. Please let me know if you have any questions in the discussion tab of this lecture. In this lecture, I'm going to show you exactly how to open and set up a new Amazon seller account. Now, if you already have an Amazon seller account, then please do not open a second one. Just use the account that you already have. Now, this is because Amazon strictly forbids you to have more than one account, unless they gave you a special permission. Also, if your previous account was suspended, then don't simply open a new seller account, because that new account is also going to get suspended if you use same account details. First, try to get back your selling privileges with the suspended account by contacting Amazon support. If you fail to get back your previous account, then please watch the lecture Getting Back in the Game if your previous account was suspended. Okay, so now if this is your first Amazon seller account, then let's proceed with the registration of new account. So first, head over to sellercentral.amazon.com. And then simply click on the link Register Now. Now there are two plans that you can choose from, individual or professional. I highly suggest that you sign up for professional account right away. Now the cost of professional account is $40 per month. The main difference is that with individual account you will pay additional $1 per sold unit on top of all other marketplace and FBA fees. And with professional account you will pay only $40 per month for account maintenance fees. So you won't pay that additional $1 fee. So if you do the math, once you sell over 40 units per month, it's much more cost effective to have a professional account. But that's not all. With professional seller account, you will have access to some great features, such as, for example, detailed reports of your product listing page and the ability to create promotion codes. Also, some categories require that you have a professional seller account in order to list products. Amazon has several categories that are gated, as you can see. And in order to list your products and sell in these gated categories, you will need to ask for ungating approval. Now, in order to be accepted into a gated category, beside other requirements, you will need to have a professional seller account. Okay, so now you can move on with registration of your new account. So under the professional plan, click Get Started. Now on this page, you need to enter your email address here. Now, it's up to you whether you would like to use the same email address that you use for your Amazon buyer and Amazon associate account. Some sellers like to separate everything and use different email address for seller, buyer, and associate account. But I personally use same email address for every account, so it's up to you. Then you want to click Create a new account and hit Continue. Next, you want to enter your basic information here and then continue with registration. Now, I'm not going to actually continue and register a new account because I already have a seller account. The process of registration is really easy and straightforward. So you can continue with registration process and just please make sure that you enter your valid information including your phone number and email address. Do not worry about payment details for now. Just finish the registration process and then I'm going to cover how you should properly set up your account. Okay, so now once you have registered your seller account, you need to head over to sellercentral.amazon.com and log into your account. Now we need to properly set it up. So once you're logged in, you need to head over to Settings and click Account Info. So first, you need to set up the tax information. So you need to click on Tax Information down here, and then you will have an option to complete the tax interview wizard. Now obviously I don't have that option since I have already completed that process. Now, Interview Wizard is a simple list of questions that Amazon needs you to answer in order to validate your legal entity. At the end, once you submit the answered questions, Amazon will automatically create any necessary tax forms and validate your information. Now, this process of answering questions should take you no longer than half an hour. Of course, if you have any questions along the way, feel free to ask me. Next, you want to make sure you have set up a valid charging method, so you need to enter your credit card details. If I remember right, then you have probably already entered your credit card details while registering your account. However, once you go to Settings and Account Info, click on Charge Method link. Next, you want to click Edit, and then simply enter your credit card details. Amazon will use this credit card to charge you for selling on Amazon and FBA fees if you have a negative balance on your account. However, once you start selling and once you start having positive balance in your seller account, these selling on Amazon and FBA fees will be deducted from your account balance, not from the actual credit card. Credit card is used to bill you only when you have negative account balance. Okay, so next, under the return and shipping, you don't have to set and change anything, because you will be using Amazon FBA service to ship your products and to manage and handle returns. So next, what you want to set up is your payment details for receiving money from Amazon. So currently, Amazon uses only bank transfer to transfer the money to sellers. And in order to receive money from Amazon, you will need to have a bank account in one of these countries. If you live in one of these countries, then you probably already have a bank account, or you can open it quickly. However, if you don't have an account and don't live in one of these countries, then please see the lecture Getting Paid from Anywhere in the World to learn more on how to open a US checking account. Now, once you have bank account details, you need to head over to Settings, Account Info, and click on Deposit Method. Then you want to click on Edit. Then on this page, you want to click Add, and then simply enter the bank account information that you obtained from your bank. And then hit the Submit button. Now, under the business information, it can be either your company information, if you're selling on Amazon as a company, or it can be your personal information if you're selling on Amazon as an individual. Next, you need to configure FBA settings. So head over to Settings and click Fulfillment by Amazon. Now on this page, the first thing you want to do is to disable the repackaging service. Now this is because in most cases you don't want Amazon to repack units with damaged packaging that were returned by customers, especially if you're selling beauty products. If a product is returned and not sellable anymore, don't let Amazon repack the unit and make it sellable again, because this may result in negative feedback. You don't want customers to receive used products. Next, you want to make sure that up here under labeling preference, merchant and I will label my items is selected. In the following lectures, I will show you how to correctly label your products. If you let Amazon label your products, it will cost you more and it will take longer for Amazon to receive your inventory. Next, under the inbound setting, I suggest that you leave the default setting, distribute inventory placement. Now this means that once you create an inbound shipment for sending your inventory to FBA, Amazon will automatically calculate to which fulfillment centers you should send your inventory. So you will end up sending your inventory to several different fulfillment centers. So Amazon will automatically split your shipment into several smaller shipments, which then you need to send to different warehouse addresses. Now this may sound like a hassle at first, but if you use FBA preparation services, then they can do this process for you. On the other hand, you can use inventory placement service and send your whole inventory to only one fulfillment center, so to one address only. But this will cost you additionally minimum of $0.3 per unit that you send to Amazon FBA. So for 1,000 units, you will end up paying additional $300 just for sending your inventory to one fulfillment center. It's much more cost effective to use preparation and repackaging service outside Amazon to split your shipment and send to different addresses. So I suggest that you stick with default setting and use distribute inventory placement. So basically that's it on this page. You can leave other settings as default. You can see how my settings look. And finally, you need to set up your storefront profile. So you need to go to setting and then click on your info and policies. So here you can enter your company and brand information. You can also add your logo and any additional policies or frequently asked questions if necessary. Now the information you enter here on this page will be displayed on your storefront page here. As you can see, if someone clicks on a seller name from a product listing page, your About Seller page will be shown. In the Resource tab of this lecture, you can find links to the most important Amazon policies and guidelines that I highly suggest you read right now. Okay, so that's it for now. Let me know if you have any questions or problems with setting up your seller account in the discussion tab of this lecture. Okay, so in this lecture, I'm going to show you exactly how to open a US bank account without ever going to the United States, no matter where you live in the world. So in order to register an Amazon seller account, you need to be resident in one of these countries. This, as you can see, is a list of accepted countries for seller registration. Now, although you will be able to open a seller account if you're located in one of these countries, you will also need to have a bank account in one of these countries. I have included the links to both of these lists in the Resource tab of this lecture. Now currently, Amazon uses only bank transfer to transfer money to sellers. There is no other way except for the bank transfer. Amazon still doesn't send direct payments to every single country that is eligible to open a seller account. For now, country list that can receive direct payments from Amazon in local currency is very limited, but it's getting bigger. As you can see, these are the countries that can receive direct payments from Amazon in local currency. So basically, you will need to open a bank account in one of these countries in order to get paid by Amazon. Now, if you live in one of these countries, then the chances are that you already have a bank account number or that you can open it fairly easy. However, if you don't live in one of the listed countries that can receive payments from Amazon, and if you don't already have a bank account there, you will need to open a Payoneer account to receive payments. Now, Payoneer is a well-known and reliable service that gives you an opportunity to open a US bank account by using their service called US Payment Service. So basically, by using Payoneer, you can get a US checking account no matter where you live in the world, without having to travel to the United States, make phone calls, have meetings, or have a US company. You will simply need to reply to several emails that Payoneer will send you in order to get approved. Now, once you get approved for the US payment service, Payoneer will dedicate a US checking account to your name. Then you will use that checking account to register your payment details on Amazon and to receive direct payments from Amazon to your Payoneer account. Roughly, it takes about 2 to 4 days to receive a payment from Amazon to your Payoneer account. Now, once you receive a payment from Amazon, then you can either withdraw the money on any ATM machine by using Payoneer MasterCard, or you can request Payoneer to transfer the funds to your local bank account, if your country is eligible for local transfers. So, if you don't have a Payoneer account yet, go ahead and register for a new account. You simply need to head over to their website, payoneer.com, and click the sign up button. And then you need to follow the simple sign up process. Once you open a Payoneer account, you will have to order the Payoneer MasterCard. It costs $25 and it's a one-time fee. It will take about 2 to 4 weeks to arrive to your address. Now, once you receive the card, you will need to activate it. Just simply follow the steps outlined in the letter that you received along with the card. Next, once your Payoneer account and Payoneer MasterCard is fully activated, then you will have to apply for the US payment service in order to obtain a US checking account. Now, in order to apply for the US payment service, you will have to send an email through special contact form on their website. In the resource tab of this lecture, I have included the link to the contact form. Just make sure that you're logged into your Payoneer account. So first, you want to select Amazon under the Program Partner field. Then select your country. Then under the topics, you want to click Receive Payments, then US Euro Payment Service, and then click How to apply for US Payment Service. In the question box, you can enter something like, I would like to apply for the US payment service, please explain how. Thank you. Then you can hit the submit button. Now, Payoneer will get back to you shortly with a list of questions regarding the reason of your application. So basically, you will need to explain them why are you applying for the US payment service. Now, they are not asking you these questions in order to give you a third grade. They just want to make sure that you will be using the US payment service for legitimate stuff that is according to their rules and guidelines. Now, they always change these questions, but the essence is the same. In the following lecture, you can find a step-by-step guide on how to answer these US payment approval questions. So now let's cover how the money flows if you're using Payoneer to get paid. So first, if you have a positive money balance in your Amazon seller account for the last 14 days, Amazon is going to initiate a payment to a checking account that you entered under settings in your seller account. Amazon will send you a notification to your email address that the funds are sent. And then it will take between 1 to 7 business days for funds to be transferred to your Payoneer account. Then, once you receive the funds, you can use Payoneer MasterCard to withdraw the funds on any ATM machine in the world. Or you can use that money to shop online. Also, if your country is eligible, you can transfer the funds from your Payoneer account to your local bank account as well. Okay, so now let's talk about costs of using Payoneer service. In my opinion, this is a relatively expensive service if you're using it when withdrawing money through ATMs. Basically, Payoneer costs can be divided into three groups: account maintenance fees, transfer fees, and withdrawal fees. Account maintenance fees are currently $3 per month, and it's deducted from your current balance. Transfer fees are the fees that are associated with the transaction of money from Amazon to your Payoneer account. Currently, the transaction fee is 1% of the total transferred amount. And finally, the withdrawal fees, which occur when you want to take money out of your Payoneer account. Now, if you're withdrawing money through ATM, then you will have some additional ATM costs involved. First, you will have Payoneer's ATM withdrawal fee, which is currently $3.15 per transaction. And also, your bank's ATM will take a percentage also, most likely between 1 and 3%. Also, if you're withdrawing money on ATM that doesn't support US dollars, you will probably have some additional currency change costs. Now, on the other hand, if you're transferring money from Payoneer account to your local bank account, then you will have cost of bank transfer, which is currently around 1 and 1.5% of total transferred amount. Now, this cost depends on the country of your bank. You can see the current fees of Payoneer when you log into your Payoneer account and then head over to Help section and click Pricing and Fees. In the Resource tab of this lecture, I have included the most important links to pages regarding getting paid if you're not from the United States. So please make sure to check it out. So like I said, in the following lecture, you can find a list of questions that Payoneer might ask you before approving you for US payment service. Also, I have included a step-by-step guide on how to answer each question. So that's it for now. Please let me know if you have any question in the discussion tab of this lecture. So like we covered, selling on Amazon functions a bit differently than on other websites. A key feature of the Amazon platform is that multiple sellers can offer the same product. So when you want to sell a product that is already listed on Amazon's website, you don't have to create a new product listing. You simply need to list your offer under an existing product listing. So for example, for this specific product, as you can see, when I click on the link down here, there are several sellers selling this exact same product, but with a different pricing offers. Now all these sellers compete for the buy box. So when a potential customer comes to the product listing page and hits Add to Cart button, Amazon will calculate based on their secret algorithm which of these sellers will get credit for the sale. So if you're selling brands from other companies, you're most likely going to compete for the buy box with other Amazon sellers selling the exact same product. Because when a sale occurs, only one of these competing sellers will get the sale. Now, of course, some products are highly competitive with hundreds of sellers competing for the buy box. And also, of course, buy box algorithm is kept highly secret. But from unofficial sources, these are some of the most important factors that can help you win the buy box and get credit for the sale. So the first factor is featured merchant status. So how trustworthy you are based on past account history. Now this can be a problem for new seller accounts. So the next factor is price. So the lower you price your item, the more chances you will have to win the buy box. Next is availability. So can you quickly and consistently fulfill orders? Next is the volume. So do you consistently sell many of the specific product? Next factor are refunds. So do you have low refund rate on your seller account? Because the lower the refund rate, the more chances you will have to win the buy box. Then the customer feedback.
so you will need to have low negative feedback to increase the chances of winning the buy box. Next are A to Z guarantee claims. So how often do you get returns? And also, fulfillment by Amazon, so FBA, is one of the most important factors for winning the buy box. So if you choose Amazon to fulfill your orders, then Amazon will heavily promote its FBA sellers, and only substantial price differences will push FBA sold merchandise out of the buy box. Now, on the other hand, if you're selling your own product brand, you will have your own product listing. So this way, you will have full control over the product listing content, which includes images, titles, bullet points, description, and other fields in your Seller Central. And also, you will be the only seller of your own brand, so you won't be competing for the buy box with other sellers, since you will be the only one selling it. So that's it for now. Please let me know if you have any questions in the discussion tab of this lecture. When a customer orders one of your products, Amazon will only give you their phone number and mailing address, not their personal email address. However, you can still communicate with your customers by email through Amazon's email messaging system. Basically, this is how it works. Amazon masks your email address and customer's email address with some random numbers and characters. So whenever you send an email to your customer using this masked email address, it first goes through Amazon's messaging system and then it gets delivered to your customer's inbox. Now also, when a customer wants to reply back to you, they also get your masked email address. So when they hit reply button, it also goes through Amazon's email messaging system before it gets back delivered to you. This way, Amazon can track how you respond to your customers and what type of emails you send. Basically, they want to have total control over you, and they don't want you to take over their customers and direct them off Amazon. In the resource tab of this lecture, I have included a link to guidelines regarding what you can send to your customers using Amazon's email messaging system. Now, Amazon also tracks the time it takes you to answer messages that you receive from your customers, which also affects your seller performance. So try to answer every message as fast as you can, and of course the same day, because Amazon is especially monitoring whether you answer all of your messages the same day in under 24 hours. Now also, Amazon forbids you to send any promotional content or messages, and in most cases, any external links will be automatically removed from your messages. Now, the purpose of this system is basically the ability for Amazon to monitor sellers and to protect buyers. So this messaging system stores all previous buyer-seller message transcripts so they can more easily resolve any issues between sellers and buyers if they occur. And also, Amazon obviously wants to protect themselves. They don't want to give you customer's email address because then you could easily direct customer off Amazon to your own e-commerce store and then avoid paying Amazon their commission. That is exactly why they strictly forbid you to use any external links or email addresses in your communication, whether it's through Amazon's messaging system or through telephone. Now, you can obtain your customer's masked email address by going to Manage Orders in your Seller Central account and by clicking on Customer's Name under the Contact Buyer. Then the contact form will be opened. You can either send a message using this contact form here, or you can copy their masked email address that you see at the top. And then you can use any emailing client, such as for example Yahoo or Gmail, to send an email to that masked email address, which is actually your customer. Or if you want to send follow-up sequences to your customers totally hands-free, then you can use email tools created specifically for Amazon sellers, such as Feedback Genius or Feedback 5. I have included the links to these services in the resource tab of this lecture. Now, let's cover some main guidelines that you absolutely must follow when communicating with your customers. First, you cannot send any marketing messages or promotional content such as coupon codes or special offers.
Second, any promotions for additional products or referrals to third-party products or promotions is strictly forbidden. Then next, like we said, you cannot include any external links or email addresses. Also, you cannot ask for a specific review of your product, such as, for example, using sentences, if you like our product, give us a review. This will only get your account in trouble because it's against Amazon policies. However, you can ask for unbiased review of your product or for a seller feedback. It is just important that you do not ask for a specific review or to tell your customers to leave a review only if they like your product. Now, you are allowed to include links to Amazon's website where customers can leave a product review or seller feedback. And finally, you cannot use logos if it contains or displays any external links. So for example, if you have a logo that has www.yourbrandname.com, then obviously that logo is forbidden to be used in buyer-seller communication. So the two main purposes of emailing your customers are to either resolve any issues that you might have or to add value by sending them, for example, additional content, how to use your product instructions, frequently asked questions, or even bonus ebooks as an attachment to your message. Now, when you receive a new message from a customer, you will be notified by email, and you can reply to that email with your answer without having to log into your Seller Central account. So basically, you can respond to your customers using your smartphone without ever having to log into your Seller Central account. This is because when Amazon sends you a notification about new email from a customer, they include their masked email address in the reply to section of an email. So when you hit reply, it will automatically send your message through Amazon's email messaging system and deliver directly to your customer's inbox. Also, if you want to see if you have any new or missed messages, then you can log into your Seller Central account and look at buyer messages under the Performance tab. And finally, also, if you want to see your performance on how fast you responded to your customers in the past, and whether you hit the expected target rate of 90% messages answered under 24 hours, then you can go to Performance tab and click on Account Health, and then scroll down to see the statistics. That's it for now. If you have any questions, please let me know in the discussion tab of this lecture. Now, before sourcing and sending your product to Amazon FBA, you need to calculate your exact profit margin and fees that you're going to pay to Amazon. Now, like I said previously, we have two groups of fees: referral fee for selling on Amazon Marketplace and fulfillment fees for using Amazon's FBA service. Now, both of these fees occur only when your product is sold. Now, Amazon has created this free calculator that lets you calculate fees and margins for any product. I have included a link in the Resource tab. So first, you need to select a product that is already sold on Amazon, so Amazon can obtain details about product sizing and category in order to calculate the exact fees. So let's say we want to sell jump rope. We need to go to Amazon.com and then simply find a product that we want to sell, or if you're going to be selling your own private label brand, then pick a product that is very similar to your future product. Once you found a product, simply click on it and open the product listing page, and then copy the ASIN number. So ASIN number can be found in the link up here, just after the DP/ part. Then simply copy the ASIN number. Then head back to the calculator and simply paste the ASIN code here. Then Amazon will find the product that is associated with that specific ASIN number. So as you can see, Amazon already has product dimensions and unit weight information. Now next, you only need to enter the selling price down here, and then hit calculate button.
Now, as you can see, total fulfillment costs are displayed here, and total referral fees for selling on Amazon Marketplace are displayed here. Now, this is the amount per unit that Amazon will send to us for each unit sold. So this amount is the difference between selling price and FBA and marketplace fees. Also, Amazon has long-term storage fees, which means that FBA storage fees per unit will increase if your inventory is in their fulfillment centers for longer than 6 months. Please see the link in the Resource tab for more information. Now, you can also add inbound shipping and preparation service cost per unit in these two fields. So let's say it cost us $200 to send 200 units to Amazon FBA. Then the inbound shipping per unit is $1. And also, let's say the labeling materials and the whole preparation service cost us $0.5 per unit. Then simply we need to recalculate the fees again. Now, from this amount, we need to deduct and cover cost of goods. And that is how you calculate profit amount per unit. Okay, so Amazon is well known for having very strict policy about review system. Customers' buying decisions heavily depend on reviews from past customers. So reviews are one of the most important factors in e-commerce business. And that is why Amazon has strict rules and suspends anyone who is trying to manipulate the review system. Now, on Amazon, you have reviews, which are related to a specific product, and you have seller feedback, which is related to a seller account. Now, customers can rate how satisfied they were with the product by writing a product review. And also, they can rate how satisfied they were with a seller by writing a seller feedback. Product reviews can be verified and unverified. The main difference between verified and unverified reviews is that verified reviews have verified purchase sign. Now, verified review is more valuable and trustworthy since it means that a customer who wrote a review has actually purchased that specific product through Amazon's website. So Amazon has data to verify that an actual transaction was made. On the other hand, unverified reviews are written by someone who hasn't bought that specific product through Amazon's website. Now, those are customers who bought a product somewhere else and then decided to write a review on Amazon. Now, unverified reviews are less trustworthy since Amazon doesn't have enough data to verify whether the customer has actually bought the product. Now, with seller feedback, customers rate how satisfied they were with you as a seller. So how satisfied they were with packaging, customer service, and shipping. Now, since you're going to use FBA, then most of these will be handled by Amazon. Seller feedback rating is one of the most crucial factors for winning the buy box. And also, low seller performance can lead to account suspension. You can always check your current performance metrics by going to Performance tab in your Seller Central account. Here, you can see your current seller feedback ratings and respond to any received feedback. Now, important thing to note, especially if you're doing private labeling on Amazon, is that you cannot ask for a specific review or feedback. You can only ask for unbiased and honest reviews. You cannot use words, for example, if you like our product, give us a review. That will only get your account in trouble. Now, in the Resource tab of this lecture, I have included the most important rules and policies regarding seller feedback and reviews. So I suggest that you read them immediately and very carefully.